Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Let's have a look tonight at BBAI. This is of course Big Bear Holdings. We're seeing this stock today have a really impressive run up. If we come over here and look at the one-day chart, you're going to see this stock is up currently over 16%, which is very significant. If you look back here to the 5-day trend, we've been asking the question for some time, is the uptrend coming? And if you ask me, today was a massive confirmation of this potential. So bearing that in mind and looking forwards into the future, we are asking what could come next. I'll be sharing with you all of my thoughts on it and my opinions. We'll be looking at some of the key levels of where I think the stock could be headed to and all of that kind of good stuff. If it sounds like a good episode, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I do try and put a lot of effort into making these videos for you guys. With that being said, remember I am not a financial advisor and therefore this is not financial advice. But again, we'll jump straight in and start by looking at how things have been moving. So like I say, it does appear to be the case now, especially when you look at the 1 month chart, that the bottom is arguably in. We're seeing the stock find its bottom, in my opinion, roughly 470, 473. You come over here to the charts and you can see that. We're finding our ultimate bottom at around 470, maybe 465. But we're finding stronger levels of support slightly higher. These are around 475. Now that these levels are in, it does appear that the stock again began to rose. We found that nice consolidation, which is what we always like to see, and the stock was then on for a higher push, which is obviously where we have gone into today. Absolutely fantastic result. I don't think we could have asked for much better. And the good thing is, going into close, the markets actually reacted more positively and the stock continued to rise up until the end of the market. This is a very fantastic day for the stock, if you ask me. So with all of that, being said, what comes next and what are we looking for? Well, I'm going to highlight for you now the levels both to the upside and the downside that I am paying attention to. And just to get the negativity out the way, we'll start with looking at the downside potential. Now for me, I think this one's very clear. I think we're going down, if we do drop, to the next support at around 565. First thing that I want to say though, despite that being a relatively significant drop, if we are to drop there tomorrow, if we drop there in the next few days for instance, I don't think that's too big of a loss. I think many people will see that as a loss, but I personally don't think it is. You've got to factor in, again, the trend that we are seeing. And when we see these stocks that rise 10, 15, 20% in a day, when they drop maybe 5 or 10%, it still seems to be the case that people panic a bit. People are worried about the fact that the stock is going down. But in reality, as I say, this is a stock which is moving up in the right direction ultimately. Having a bit of a drop off, if it was to happen, again, not saying that it will, if that was to happen, it still allows time for the indicators to cool off, and I think it's these little levels, these continuous supports that we keep building, that allow us to go on to push higher in the future. So again, a drop to 565 even, would not be the worst thing in the world. On the opposite end of the spectrum, if we are to rise, well, what are we looking at? Well, obvious levels are going to be at today's high, around about $6. A push into and above $6 would mark the next leg up, in my opinion. We have seen difficulty at this point, not only today, but actually in the past. Again, you draw back to the most recent time where we can see this, and that's around the 12th of August. Just a lot of difficulty getting above 6 and remaining there. Once we were able to make it, next levels was something like 620, where we had a lot of difficulty getting past that. So I think on the upper end, past that, 620 is going to be the next level to watch out for. I think if you start to break into the 630s, the 640s, we're at that point where the channel change to the upside is huge, right? We're definitely going to be in the right direction then, and things, are arguably moving in the very right direction right now. But if you start to see the stock move up to, like I say, the 6s, the high 5s, you're very much looking at the potential for a trend change being absolutely confirmed. However, in my opinion, this to some degree in itself is a great confirmation of a trend change, or that potential trend change already being here. The question in my head from now is, how high do we go? I hope you did enjoy this video, guys. I've got one little bit that I would like to share with you before we do end, but other than that, thank you for watching. I do thoroughly recommend that you do watch this last bit, and if you can click the link, it would be helpful to me, and you guys might actually learn something too. You guys are ready to get serious about trading for less than the price of a coffee every day? I've got to tell you about the new Patreon page that I have just launched. That's right, guys, I have a new Patreon. I'm going to be sharing everything on here, from my personal stocks that I am watching to pre-market updates, as well as a Discord group which I have started. It's going to allow you to access similar-minded, like-minded people who are also interested in sharing their knowledge about the markets. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff over here, guys. There's going to be a lot of exclusive content coming in the next couple of weeks. But do bear in mind, for most of the tiers, spots are limited. The Market Scout, where you'll gain access to the Discord, prices will change after 150 members. At the moment, guys, I'm limited for time, so the Trader's Edge course and above, we're limiting the courses even lower, right? There's a limited amount of people who can join. At the same time, depending on the level of mentorship that you want, we have prices going all the way up from 1450 to the highest tiers over here that you can see. Again, if you're looking to take your journey to that next level, on these middle tiers, this is personally the one that I would recommend, even though it's not the most expensive. It costs less than a coffee every single day, and the amount of information that you'll get here, in my personal opinion, is absolutely worth the value. At the very least, guys, you can become a member for free. The link is down in the description, the comment section, and the bio. Just give it a look and see what you think. And of course, feel free to sign up if you're looking to take your journey even further. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the video.